Hello and welcome back for season 2 of Are We There Yet? Our Rags to Riches save. We're in Ireland. I don't know if you've noticed that just looking at the screen. We very nearly ended up in Russia with a team called Saturn. I can't remember the rest of their name. They It looked interesting. As far as the league reputation went, it was, I think, up in about the top 20, 25 in the world, which I thought would be pretty good for growing our own reputation. And then this job came along, Dundalk, I believe they're called. I may have gotten that wrong. So we're in the Irish Premier League, and you may see we're also in the Champions League. Well, qualifiers, but it's better than nothing. So the reason for coming here, they're a team that are established in terms of the squad. Financially, it's going to be an issue unless we can make the Champions League on a regular basis, because there is about 200 grand available to getting knocked out. And I don't want to get knocked out. Don't get me wrong. If we could make the group stage just once, I'm sure the money in that would be absolutely immense, because you can see that, yeah, it's already pretty low. The expenditure is much higher than the income, so I've got no option of improving the coaching. So that's still very much the same National C license with that half-star reputation. So I joined. We'll show you the table because I joined halfway through the season. I think I joined about 2 or 3 days. I joined here, just put a couple of friendlies in because they had a bit of a break there from the end of May to start of July. So it was about June. They had June off, and the transfer window opened up in that time. So I've done a little bit of business, which we'll get to in a second. I played those 2 games there just so I could have the game basically set up so there wouldn't be 2 or 3 squad reports or anything like that. We can just get through the bulk of it and then add any small transfers, which there are a few coming in. Basically went and raided all of the Premier League youth players because, as you see, the 12th of July, all their contracts have run out. Picked up a couple. There's a couple more I'm looking at bringing in. And as you can see, actually, if I go to the competition screen, just look, there's six competitions we're involved in. Obviously, ignore the Irish President's Cup. That was one before I got here. So there's 5 competitions we're involved in. And the dates, I know I keep jumping between screens, just excuse that. But you can see how, the congestion in the fixtures. You've got a game on the 9th, then the 12th, then the 15th, 19th. There's only 2 or 3 days at a time. I think 6 there is probably one of our biggest gaps we're going to get anytime soon. So there's still another cup that hasn't been drawn yet, so that will get thrown in there as well. Obviously, I want to go on and win as many of these as I possibly can with the Champions League. Basically, we just want to get through as far as we can. As you can see, we're in one of the qualifying rounds now. We're in the second qualifying phase. So that goes through to another qualifying phase and then a playoff. When I looked at the draw for the next round, yeah, it's not been drawn, but it says here, these teams are based on whether the favourites get through. Yeah, highest ranking teams, so not necessarily favourites, and we're not one of them. HJK are the higher ranked team than us. They're from Finland. They're also leading their league. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. And if we just go back to that for a second, I can show you what I was talking about with the financials. So if we lose here, we get 275 grand, which just about puts us back. We'd be 100 grand in debt, not 378,000 in debt. So my plan for today, depending on the length of the video, is to play these 3 games. If the video becomes too long, Cork City will be off cam and we'll just play the 2 legs of the Champions League tie just to see what happens. I don't think we're favourites. We're not really guaranteed much, but at least as long as we can give them a fight. We'll go through the tactic in a second. We'll just look at the squad. As you can see, it is enormous. It's a really, really big squad. And I started looking at trying to cull some of it down, but when I realised the fixture congestion, I sort of can't bring myself to ditch it, I need to sort of figure out how fit people stay before I worry too much about getting rid of some. Some of these guys are wanted, some of these guys I have listed because I don't see the use in keeping them. I brought in Jonathan Flatt for about 30 grand, 33,000 because he was the transfer listed. I went looking for a goalkeeper because our number 1 choice, Gary Rogers here, is 35 years old. He's still a good quality keeper. He's 3-star, and some of these stats are still really really good. But I needed a replacement because he's 35. So we bring in Jonathan Flatt, previously of Wolves, I believe. So despite the first choice keeper initially being quality, Flatt is leading, and he's done pretty bloody well in this first couple of games. I'm not going to go through every one of these players. We're just going to skim through it as quickly as possible because there are some quality, and there's also some I'm really not too sure on just yet. Nicholas Vemmeland, one of the only foreigners in the squad, pretty versatile across the back there. Only uses his right foot, so I'm not sure why they've ever had him trained to play left back, but that's okay. Yes, I brought Sean Long in on a free at the end of his contract with Reading. I know him from being a Lincoln City fan. Obviously, I had him in the previous save. He's going to be a backup because our first choice is pretty fantastic. Stephen Folan, I was going to sell him, but he's got the highest average rating, best pass completion, most player of the match awards, and the most yellow cards, but that's not really relevant. We also got Brian Gartland. He is the best centre back we've got. He's also 30 years old. He's starting to slow down a bit, so I will be looking to replace him. So, maybe he'll be back up next year. I don't have a whole lot in terms of potential, especially in the defence. I think it's one of the weaker areas. Paddy Barrett, basically our third choice. He is faster than Gartland, obviously, but he's not quite there technically. He's not too far off him either. And he will probably be the one that fills that gap unless I can bring somebody in. Chris Shields, he's not got much in the way of ability or potential anymore. He is the best defensive midfielder available to us. Something I need to look at addressing perhaps, because I'm not playing with a defensive midfielder at the moment, but I've sort of thought about using the previous Phoenix tactic against the stronger teams, and it's something I should probably do today in our Champions League game. But the 4-2-3-1 that we're playing has been pretty fantastic. So Sean Gannon is the first choice right back. But he's nice and quick. He can cross it. He's got a good first touch. He's got a long throw. Really good determination. Good flair. Basically, all-round good player. I think he's at his max potential there at 26, but that's okay. He's been with the club for 3 years, and I think he's actually the vice captain, if I remember correctly. So we've got Dane Massey, who's the club captain, and he's basically the left-sided version, and he's a much better version also. Not as fast, but he could take a really good corner. His free kicks are fantastic. He's scored a couple of those already. And also, there's a midfielder. They sort of share the free kick taking responsibility. But you can see Massey here curls the ball and he hits free kicks with power. And when you've got a rating of 16, long shots of 12, what more can you ask for? James Chambers, this is the midfielder. His free kick taken of 15. He also tries to curl the ball. He's got long range free kicks in there. His long shots are 11. His free kick taken is 15. He's 30. Somebody I wish was a little bit younger because he's been fantastic in the games he's played so far, and I really would like to keep him around. Georgie Poynton, though, is sort of our defensive midfield understudy. Plenty of potential, like lots of potential, 4.5 star. He's only 19. Jamie Lindsay, I brought Jamie Lindsay in. He was a free transfer left from Celtic. He's on a lot of money, and he's one of the key players in terms of the midfield, but he's probably going to take over from Chambers. Dean Shields was one of the star players when I arrived. At 32, sort of reached his max. His rating, you can see with the season, 6.73 has been pretty crap. So I think his time is up. We've got other options in that cam role that we could probably fill, and we filled them much cheaper as well. Darren Meenan, just a solid backup. You can play either side. But at 30 years old, he's still got 12 acceleration, 13 pace. He's brilliant with corners, excellent crosser of the ball, good work rate and vision. Stephen Kinsella, the Everton youngster, was on loan when I arrived. So I've just renewed that loan contract for another year, because he's 5-star potential. He's already 3-star, and he's been playing a lot of the games from when I arrived and leading up to. Not been too consistent just yet. You can see he's on a 6.9. He does play as an inside forward, which is what we were using with that Phoenix tactic. So it's something we can perhaps look into. Ronan Finn is another advanced playmaker. Well, he's pretty versatile. I mean, he can play box to box if we wanted to look at something like that. Maybe some of the stats are a little bit off, but I like he can play killer balls often. He runs through the centre, which is pretty great for the advanced playmaker. You get the through balls into your forwards, which we've got pretty dangerous forwards. We'll get to them shortly. John Mountney, It says wide target man. I don't know too much about using a wide target man. I've listed him because his contract's running out, and I haven't used him yet. You know, he's way down the depth list on the right hand side. I don't use a wide target man, so if I can get rid of him for a little bit of cash, or maybe he's just not going to play. He's not going to fit in my system, basically. Same sort of goes for Robbie Benson. So Denzel Boadu is one of the youngsters that I managed to snap up. He's previously from Man City, also from Arsenal. Another 5-star potential. I think he's actually got the ability. You know, he's suitable for this league right now. You know, he's reasonably quick. He's 20 years old. He's in on £300 a week. His long shots aren't really there yet, so he doesn't really fit the shadow striker role. So we're training him to be an advanced playmaker because we don't actually use the shadow striker anyway. Michael Duffy is a little bit, I'm not too sure about him. He's wanted by Ross County last I checked, and he's got $500,000 release fee. He looks all right. He's our best left winger, despite the fact that Cancelo's been playing out there. Yeah, I'm just not sure. He's got, like I say, he's got that half-star more potential. He's also, you know, an ex-Celtic product. At 22, maybe it's something we can hang on to, but he's on sort of 1,400 a week, and I haven't used him yet. It's sort of a bit up in the air about that. If Ross County want to come in and put $500,000 on him, then sweet as. No worries, we'll take it. Kieran O'Connor is one of our sort of backup strikers, and it says he's suited to defensive forward and target man, which I haven't really used yet because we're only playing one striker, and I still haven't quite got my head around defensive forward roles yet. So I'm sort of looking at him as the advanced forward or deep lying forward, but I use a false 9 in this tactic. He doesn't quite fit it. He's still got a star of potential possibly. He can play on the left, although he can't really cross it. He's another wide target man. Maybe I could look into that role. You know, maybe I could get something out of that. What I do like is he's got really massive determination, work rate, teamwork. He's good off the ball. Mentally, he's fantastic for a 21-year-old. He's still got another year in his contract, so we'll see what he can do. Thomas Halkadel. How I came across him, I can't remember. I got him on a free from a club in Denmark. He's only 16 years old. Initially, it said he had 5-star potential. Yeah, he's suited to the league at 16, which also means in 2 or 3 years' time, he becomes trained by the club, potentially becomes an Irish citizen. So he could be instrumental going forward. Again, it says he's suited to shadow striker. I'm training him as an advanced playmaker. He's getting tutoring from one of our other advanced playmakers who has the same personality as him. You know, so I'm really, really hoping that he can come out to be something special. If not, I'm sure somebody else will take him. Chris Fagan is the man of the hour. He came in on a free contract. He's obviously at St. Pat's last year. I also know him previously from being with Lincoln. In this current save, he has done plenty. He's leading the league in scoring. He's been the guy to score the last few games. He's 4-star. Looking at his stats, it's not amazing. You know, good finishing, good first touch. Says he's a poacher, but I'm playing him as a false 9, and it seems to be working out pretty nicely. He places the shots. He likes to beat an offside trap, so we can push him forward. And maybe poacher in that sense would be more suitable, and he can just break the defense with a longer ball over the top. But he's been pretty monstrous. I'm also looking at Sam Byrne. He's another one of those ones that didn't have his contract renewed. I'm just waiting for this to clear up a little bit more so I can see what's going on, because Fagan is 28, so again I'm not going to have him forever. And our other backup striker is also 28, and he's been looked at by a few teams. There's another guy whose contract runs out towards the end of the year. Target man, I'm not really playing a target man. I don't know if he is really that. He sort of suits a false 9, and he, like I say, he's played the backup. As well as Kieran O'Connor. And I've already been talking for far too bloody long. I wasn't going to go all the way into that, but we did. So it may be a longer episode, or like I say, I may just cut that second game and we'll just play the 2 Champions League fixtures today. So as you can see, tactically, I've got the 2 Phoenix versions, just sort of lacking a good ability in the middle there. But we've been playing a 4-2-3-1. That's actually been working out really bloody well. Given we're in the Champions League, there's a lot here unregistered or ineligible. That's fine. I was limited. I don't really have a massive knowledge of the squad just yet, but I sort of took the best that I could. And without further ado, I think we're going to get into this game. Like I've already said, I'm not expecting much. I don't think anyone else is expecting us to do that much either. Yeah, so they're 18 points clear. They're unbeaten. They've only drawn 4 games. They've got the highest top score. They've got the highest goal scorer, 2 of the best average ratings, most assists. Yeah, player of the match. They're based, their goalkeeper has the most clean sheets, and they've won the league. Oh, how many times have they won the league since? So 6 of the last 7. Yeah, so you can already see uh, they're massive favourites. We haven't got a hope in hell, essentially, of winning this. The Dundalk fans apparently aren't happy about me. It's the first time I've seen that. So they're in a 4-4-2 with a slightly advanced winger there. I don't like my assistant manager. It's pretty shit, and he always tells me to tight mark everyone. He also keeps telling me to play a 4-3-3 narrow because that's his preferred formation. We are away first, which it's ideal because if we can sneak a goal, perhaps we've got a semi-decent chance of doing something in the next leg. But I have absolutely no idea what to expect, and this is actually my first. I'm actually going to go to counter early. This is my first experience with the Champions League on FM17. So early free kick for HJK. David to Morelos. Taken away by Gartland, but it's not going to find anybody forward. Cancelo almost gets to it there. Morelos is going to play through his striker there, Jello. Got a man on the right. He's gone well wide to Gelasto. Picked out by Lindsay. He's found Fagan. If we can go wide. Oh, he's gone through from almost through there. I think if that pass had made it, you could have seen something really dangerous from us. You see there the lack of pace from the centre backs. Terrible back pass from Gannon, but flat tidies that one up. He's been fantastic in his first few games. I think I already said that, but I'm really happy to have picked him up, and especially so cheap. I think he can be a star for a few more years. All right, so throw in Yalesto. I'm not sure how to say that. Annan to Tanaka. Tanaka I looked at when I was up at the Phoenix. Yagubi, that's poor. We go down early, but that's a really poor way to go down. Just lackadaisical defending, really. I think Flat could have done very much about it. I missed the attempt to block there. I think that's messy. No, it was one of the Chambers there, midfielder. Almost got a foot to it. The 3 centre backs there aren't really sure what the hell they're doing. And the goalkeeper gets beaten. So 1-0 down in less than 10 minutes. We've got a throw in now from Gannon. So if we can just get one goal and keep it, maybe a 1-1 all 2-1. No, I sort of not necessarily favour us in the second leg, but I think we'd have half a chance. Second shot's not really going anywhere. We've only had the one shot so far, and it was off target. Possession, we're not doing too bad, so I'm going to bump this back up to standard. Throw in again for Messi if we can make something out of this one. O'Connor is going to fall back out to Messi. Taken away by Yagubi. He finds Jello again. He's gone long. Oh, this is going to be dangerous. Morelos. Let's put it over, and that's looking sketchy already. I'm just going to drop slightly deeper because I don't want to be playing that long ball over the top if we don't have the pace. I may even set the defenders to cover. Starting to... Alright, corner from Messi. Doesn't really go anywhere at all. McElhinney's going to get there into Lindsay. Back out for Messi. Folan still got numbers there in the box. You can just find a decent ball in. It's dropped to O'Connor off the bar and no one's there to... There's a good chance. It's a half chance to come off the crossbar. We're shooting pretty well so far. Maybe a lack of shots, but we are sort of getting inside the box, you can see there. It's coming from a few numbers as well. It doesn't look like Fagan's had a shot yet, which is unusual, because he's normally first to pounce. Free kick now. Over the top for Cancella. It's beaten by the defender. It's going to bounce around a bit. Morelos has got it now. It's come out wide to Yagubi. He's going to look for that same long ball over the top. Need Folan to be safe here. Back to Flat. It's looking long for O'Connor. Just going to forward to Lindsay into Fagan. Found Kinsella to Michelini. Through to Fagan. He's the man on form, especially in terms of goal scoring, and we are looking pretty bloody strong in this game. I'd like to go to control, but I'm just not entirely convinced of it just yet. Messi again with the corner. It's fallen to Kinsella. Plenty of options around the Michelini. If he just plays the ball in front, there's a bit of space. He's going to have a dig, and the keeper's put a hand on that again. We're looking very good. I'm tempted to go control, just as long as our defenders don't let them through at the back. And maybe drop even further back with a bit of control, shorter passing. Oh, but it feels good to have a team capable of doing... I think they're playing really bloody well. Keep it up. They're not... Well, I thought there'd be a bit more response to that, but apparently not. Okay, is there anything on here? I don't really want this to take too long, but at the same time, I feel like we're very much in this game. I know Dundalk have had a bit of a history in the Champions League already. Yeah, so the longer balls are the ones that are getting through. Perhaps we could play Fagan as a poacher. I'm going to try it. Mixed passing through the middle. Maybe more direct would be better. And we'll put Fagan in his poacher role. Connor hasn't done a whole lot just yet. I'm going to put Kinsella out there. Nah, no subs. It's only half time. Just relax. Just relax. And the thing is, we haven't... Well, there is something to lose given that it's 2 legs. If we could come away with a 2-0 at home, that would be the way through. But I'm tempted to go control. Just looking at the stats there. Alright, Lindsay. To O'Connor. Into Michelini. Back to Chambers. Bring this ball out to the right perhaps. It's getting a bit crowded over there. Chambers again. It's found Michelini. It's a good idea, but it hasn't found its way through. Now HJK will come back on the counter. Dahlstrom. It's found Jello. Taken away by Folan. Folan's going to be really hard to replace, I think. He looks so good out in the pitch, Jello. If they were to score, we have to go attacking. We need an away goal. It's gone wide, thankfully. I'm going to try control just for a little bit. Maybe 10 minutes or so to see if we can actually make something happen. If not, we'll go attacking because I really would like to get something out of this. That one away goal. I mean, we all know the importance of an away goal. But not really at the risk of going down 2-0. It's a bit of a balancing act. Highlight here. Another corner from Messi. Can we make something of one of these? No. I'm going to forward to Michelini. Into Chambers. Back to Michelini. O'Connor. Can we get play Fagan on? I think he's offside. Oh my lord. He's put it in. That's the away goal, Corin O'Connor, and you were the one I was going to take off. What a hell of a shot. I need to see that again. I thought he was going to go for Fagan, who actually drifted offside. But he's just banged that in the back of the net. A couple of touches, a little bit of a shot fake. Top bins. Well, close enough. And we've got the goal. Now, do I leave it on control, or do I... See, this is where it becomes a bit of a nightmare. Fagan, he's not really doing very much today, is he? I think what I'm going to do is just play the 2 games because I need to see what's going on here. So Fagan, how many shots has he had? Just the 1. Is that because the ball's not getting to him? Chambers' passing's looking alright. Michelini's had 4 key passes. Alright. I'm going to take Fagan off for Kilduff. Nah, I don't really want to target man. Who is the O'Connor as the defensive forward? And we'll give Duffy a go, eh? So he wants to be a left winger. So we'll put O'Connor up front in his preferred defensive forward. You can harass the centre backs. We'll put Duffy out on the left as a winger. On support, we'll leave him as an inside forward, eh? We'll leave him as an. We could probably put them both as inside forwards, to be honest. Let's try that. I'm changing too much. Stop it. Alright, we'll just get Duffy on. O'Connor up front. He scored the one goal. Maybe he's got the eye for it today. Otherwise, we're looking solid. Nothing fantastic. You know, there's nobody really over a 7. McElhinney and O'Connor makes sense. It was the assist and the goal. But otherwise, I'm forgetting to push play again. Otherwise, I can't complain. I'm just going to encourage them. Rafinha to Anovo. Perhaps I shouldn't be on control anymore. We'll just drop to standard. Dahlstrom to Morelos. Well saved. I thought that had gone in. That was a really weird animation. We're going to drop to standard because that possession is sort of going back against us. It might even be worth going on control because they are starting to get the shots. Well done, flat. It's just we just seem to have good luck with goalkeepers on the save. I'm really not complaining about that. Alright, I have to make some more subs shortly just to keep that freshness. Alright, Chambers. So who's my deep line playmaker? I think Lindsay likes the deep line playmaker role. And then one of the... I've got a Shields and a Shields. McElhinney, can he drop back at all? He wants to play a winger as well. Perhaps Shields, I think. Shields for Chambers. And we'll switch him to the ball-winning midfielder role that he likes. Alright. A little bit nervy. Alright, free kick from Messi. Can we put... You fucking legend. I told you could bang a free kick in. Now we're up 2 away goals. This could be fucking... Sorry, I'm just way too excited at the moment. Look at this again. I think it's taking a deflection off the wall. It's taking it... Wow. But I'll take the goal. 2-1. And we're giving them a hell of a game for not being favourites at all. Alright. Concentrate. Last 10 minutes. 6 minutes, sorry. Duffy. Into O'Connor. Just take your time. Shields. Back to O'Connor. Finds Duffy. Plays it back to Lindsay. If you can put one over the top, just to keep the pressure on them. That's not what I wanted. And the centre backs aren't fast enough. Shit. Go on flat. Go on flat. Oh, what a brilliant tackle from Folan there. It's not over yet though. Yeah, Goody's drawn it, tied it back up. That was a hell of a tackle from Folan, and we've still got the 2 away goals. Still got 2 away goals. And I dropped a counter. I mean, maybe we could sneak one at the end, but I'm not going to take the risk. I'd rather just settle for 2-2. That's really unfortunate. It was, Yagubi was unmarked, let's be honest. Brilliant tackle from Folan. Inch perfect. Good vision there to get the ball back out. There's just no one there. Flat's had a good go, but it's a hell of a shot. Let's be honest, top corner. There's more top corner than our top corner. I'm going to sub Lindsay out now, just to waste a little bit of time. He wants to play attack in midfield. Alright, I'm going to switch views for just a second. It makes life a little bit easier. Lindsay, no one can really play there. I mean, we could drop McElhinney into sort of a DM. Oh, what does McElhinney's stats look like? As an advanced playmaker. Yeah, I mean, he could fit a deep line playmaker role. We'll pop Shields up top. He says Engash is his. I don't know how to say that. Engash, Engosh. Sorry, I'm being a bit of a dick there. Oh no, go live. I'll go back to play. Just a few minutes left. Just see this one out. I mean, if you can bang one in at the end, and feel free. Oh, Messi, go on. Wow, that could have been something. But please don't concede. It's not long enough left in the game. Shields, what up, mate? All right, just see it out. All right, Dame Messi though is the man of the hour. If he doesn't get player of the match, he might not. But I think we've done pretty bloody well considering we're playing away from home. Oh Lord, that's squeaky bum time, as I hear said quite a lot. But that is the end of the game. 2-2, and a hell of a performance to go with it. You were absolutely fantastic, boys. What? All right, where's Messi? You're getting an individual. You were a superstar, mate. Very happy with your performance. McElhenney for all his passing. You can have one as well. O'Connor can have it. You were great in the second half. I think that's fair. Fagan, I don't think he got too many opportunities. I'm not going to be too harsh on him. But Messi, well, Flat played pretty bloody well too, to be honest. Some of those saves he made. A little bit disappointed in their reaction. All right, I've also just realized this video is already 40 minutes long. So I'm going to leave it there, but I will continue on recording and then I will get this out as soon as I possibly can. But if you've enjoyed, please come back for the next one. It's a pretty fantastic result today. I'm so incredibly excited about the second leg. Hopefully we can do the job and progress to the next round.